Good morning, everyone. This is Patrick, owner of Hedge Plus, and I want to talk this week, going into last week of July, about what has changed since June 30th. Back on June 30th, we put in a new low in December futures at 425. That day on June 30th, we had a USD report, which was somewhat friendly. What's changed in July? Well, we have seen big changes. After all, our field is not static. You can't take a snapshot and go off of that snapshot and believe that's where it's going to stay for the year, especially in our summers. Our prices, our marketing has to be fluid. What's changed since July 1st, June 30th, is dramatic, okay? First of all, the drought monitor has expanded. We've had a very hot and dry month here in the U.S., and that has led to yield depreciation. Are we going to have below 183 yield? Maybe not. But if you go back to June 30th, let's take a look at that. Okay, most people are looking at 190 to 195 yield potential for corn and 53 and a half, maybe 54 bushel yield in beans. Crop conditions were good. We got a lot of rain, especially late June. Some were saying too much in parts of the Midwest. There was no drought in the drought monitor for the heart of the Midwest at all, and things were looking great weather-wise. France was suffering a little bit with drought as many parts of Europe was, but the bottom line was the weather looked pretty good, and it looked like another big crop coming. Okay, what's happened? What's changed? What went from that static bearish picture in a 425 December futures price to a potentially bullish outlook today? Well, the weather that we talked about, the Russian-Ukrainian situations got much worse. Ukraine, over the month of July, has started launching drones and attacking ships in the Azov Sea, which is a delivery route for Russia. They even hit Moscow once this month with 300 drones. How has Russia responded? By bombing ships outside of Odessa and Odessa itself, major port for wheat being shipped out and corn to the rest of the world. Back in 2021, the big rally was led by that war and the fact that Ukraine was suffering and their production would be down and they couldn't get it out. We have a very similar situation mounting right now, only Ukraine is much better at attacking back. That's one. President Trump and Iranians were looking at a deal in the beginning of July. Maybe it was going to last. It was fragile, but the last 14 days, we have seen heavy confrontation accelerate and maybe expand as we go forward with increased U.S. bombing, U.S. soldiers' loss of life. And that situation is now critical as we're looking at this Red Sea, another huge delivery area for the world shipping, maybe being clogged by attacks from Houthis on ships in the straits that lead out of the Red Sea. Those two major geopolitical events are significant. On top of that, the heat and dryness in the U.S. in July probably will not dissipate during the month of August. Typically, when you have a hot and dry July, August weather continues that trend. We usually don't get relief. Very rarely do we get relief in August. It will come with a change of season, something major to cause that change. Normally between September and October is a drought-busting kind of weather that we can get, okay, in that time frame. Not during August. It's more likely that the dry soils and that condition across the Midwest will expand to even more intense drought in the Midwest. Bottom line is that is all bullish. Okay, now we got just recently a 90-day forecast for South America. The top 2/3 of Brazil are expected to stay or be under droughts, high probability of below normal precipitation, while the south of Brazil and northern Argentina are looking at very, very wet conditions over the next 3 months. So much so there's concern about getting that crop planted down there. Well, we know the crop won't be planted in September in northern Brazil if they don't get 2 inches of rain. They have a long period of dryness going into the monsoon season, and if they don't get rains in September, they don't get 2 inches, they don't plant until they do. They cannot get the seed germinate without at least 2 inches of rain falling first. We could have a very delayed Brazil crop this year if forecasts hold. I'm sure that's what the Chinese are looking at right now, and why they are buying U.S. beans ahead of time right now. I think they're concerned about, is there going to be enough down in South America to ship to China to keep the Chinese demand satisfied? And so they're being smart and buying U.S. beans ahead. All those things have changed since June 30th. All those things have changed. We are in a new atmosphere with new analysis that needs to be done on where prices go. I find it difficult to see a big, huge drop in August with the current conditions. Now they can change. We get better rains. Trump and Iran could come to a deal. Russia can finally come to the table for peace. And all of a sudden, everything we just seen develop changes. Maybe even the South American forecasts get wetter. So there's a lot that can change and change the outlook of prices. But right now, there's a lot of risk in prices. And for the month of August, I don't see a big price decline. We'll see what happens with weather and all these other effects. But right now, I am staying very safe, not making any sales, and watching for potential significantly higher prices as we go into August if things continue on the current trend. Have a great week. It's a different world. I hope you grow a big crop because maybe we finally get a really good price. Talk to you soon. Thank you.